Once again, thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the conversation we've been having on Beyond the Scars with Migori Woman Representative Dr. Pamela Odhiambo. Dr. let's take it from where we left it. And I actually, we all did see it because, you know, us guys, the media people were there that day. And when they got you out of the wreckage, you were saying, thank you, Jesus. And I know you're a woman of faith, strong faith indeed. But then at such circumstances, it's a bit rare to find someone, you know, yes, you're thanking Jesus because you're alive, but it's rare to find someone uttering those words at such a situation.
Surely, I told you when I saw the whole thing start, something told me that this thing was meant for my death. I don't know. But then I asked God to stand in and intervene and save my life. And indeed, he did. And so when they were getting me out of this wreck, especially after releasing the belt, which I thought was now killing me by cutting short my breath, I felt there was some joy in my heart. I also can't explain it. It was very strange to me. But there was this, you know, I didn't even panic about that whole thing. Yes, I realized I couldn't move any part of my body, especially my limbs, my hands, my legs. But at least I could feel. I could feel like the toes of my feet were able to move. I could feel them. And this thing gave me encouragement. I thought, wow, my spinal cord must be well. So I don't know, but I felt I needed just to thank God and just worship and tell God, thank you for saving my life. There was this conviction in my heart that I would not die, much as I was almost immobile and in a lot of pain. My spirit, my conscience, there was no panic in me. And I really, even to date, still thank God for that, because later on when I was taken to the hospital, the kind of injuries I suffered, to be honest, anybody would have not expected anything better than me on a wheelchair.
Doctor, let me just cut you short. If you could just look at the screen, because there's some pictures that we're running of that fateful day, and that is you there. Maybe right now, when you look at those photos, what goes, particularly that one, what goes through your mind?
What always goes through my mind is that, especially where I was seated, the other side, which is this side, which is so badly wrecked, I'm wondering, how did this thing not just crush me and make me into a chapati, you know? And that's the wonder that I've always had. It is God's grace that I came out of this thing whole, much as I broke almost of my lumbar column bones, the spinal bones all the way from my waist to my neck. There was my neck from this side pushed to this end. There was this shoulder here, which is still giving me a lot of problem, even the neck. And I'm telling you, it's awesome what God can do. Whenever I see this wreck, I see the glory of God and what God can do. I always imagine this Jesus I was commanding putting his hands like this, so that I was somewhere sandwiched in between his hands and this metal wreck. I think that's basically the wonder, that how did this thing fail to just crash,
come out,
you know? I always marvel at that. And I'm telling you, from that very day, there was no panic in my heart. Even as I look at this wreck, you know, there's a way you feel your blood would run cold. It has never happened to me. And to me, I thought that was the very first and the everlasting miracle that God did to me. Because I thought the pain I was feeling, if I had panicked and the fear of death had gripped me, somehow I would have died. But there was this conviction in my spirit that I would live. From the people who surrounded me in this ambulance, I got to know that I had lost my bodyguard, because I was asking the other people. I managed to see them somehow as we were taken to the first clinic. But then I couldn't see this other man. And when I kept asking this lady, Gladys, where is Owich? And I would see her body grow pimples. So I learned, no, something was not right with him. He must have gone. So until the following day, when my husband came now checking on me at Nairobi Hospital where they took me, I was asking him, why didn't you tell me that Owicha died? They said, who told you? He was still struggling to keep it from me. I said, brother, I knew that Owicha died. But it is okay, we will thank God. And it is so sad. And I think the real pain that I felt I suffered was the pain of losing this young man. Because I kept remembering how he was really urging me to go to Homa Bay. And then he ends up remaining on the road. I really felt a bit very sad about that. It traumatized me a bit. But I had to surrender and give up and say, God, it is your will. There's nothing I can do about it. But when I spoke to his wife and she came, we cried together. I encouraged her. I did from the bed there what I could do to support her and the family. I felt peace in my heart. And to date, I feel peace that it happened. It would have not been my wish, but it happened. So these pictures or that image, to me, what it always brings to my mind is how glorious God can be, because I believe what covered me to that extent, especially look at that location where I was seated. I think it is the worst damaged part of that vehicle. So somehow the grace of God provided for my safety. And that is what makes me happy then. And that explains why I was thanking God. And I'm still thanking God because due to this accident, I have learned very many important things. Some of them very bad experiences, some of them I think I feel a stronger person and I feel strengthened in my faith. I feel strengthened in my desire to render services to humanity, because it also taught me how life can be useless. One minute I was very strong, jumping and singing. The next minute I'm vulnerable and carried by other people. And it was just in a twinkle of an eye, you know. And I thought some of the very good lessons I've learned from this, from my spiritual perspective, is that God is able. In whatever circumstances, sometimes we have to put down our own ability and ride on the ability of God. Mm-hmm. It has also helped me to learn to be very patient with myself and other people. Like, you know, I woke up with esteem after my election. I think I'm even the first MP that used to go back frequently to the county. Even during that time, there were skirmishes of the President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila's, you know, there was some chaos. But I would go back and I tried to do this and do that. Then things happened before my accident. We lost our senator. And then I rigorously campaigned for the current senator. And it was immediately we finished this campaign that I traveled to Denmark. Then upon coming back, I had such a zeal to now wake up, because by this time there was already the handshake, things had already settled. So I was off to go to start delivering the mandate and what I had thought I wanted to do with the youth, women, and persons with disability of Migori County. I was so psyched. But then there I was, lying helpless in bed in the hospital for a whole month, unable to move, and I had to be taught to walk again. I had to be taught to sit again, and it was just, you know, it was frustrating. And somehow I kept hoping that I would be on my feet again to continue with whatever I thought I should deliver in Migori County. I know despite my being away for that whole 1 year, like the whole of 2019, to be honest, I've not done what I thought I should have done by then. Even my stay in Parliament, I would go to the House, then I try sitting down, then the chest is paining my back and I'm not able to settle there. I've tried to come up gradually. And what is unique about this whole process, people make you think when they talk to you like they understand. But then what they are doing and saying away from you is, no, she's not performing, and we are removing her, and she's not, you know, such kind of things. And you're wondering, in fact, one of the bitterest statements that somebody made was, kwani she didn't die, you know, and I was wondering, why would somebody gloat over my death? What would they gain? What have I done such that somebody would be happy when I die in such a manner? But then I have learned a very vital lesson of life, to forgive unconditionally. Some of these people, I know them by name. Some of them, I've sat them on tables together. We have even shared meals. Some of them were very close people, and some of them were people we were working with together. And I thought now that I was down, they would come up and do things to further my interest. Some of them actually took off and left me at that very vulnerable stage. And you are wondering, really, is this what is supposed to happen when somebody gets into this kind of situation? But I thank God for this word, forgiveness. Mm-hmm. I have decided none of these people is my enemy, and none of these people will I ever hold a grudge against. I felt severally the Spirit telling me, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. So I even discovered that during my away time in the name of sickness, even some of the very entrusted officers of mine running my finances did not do very well. They were struggling to take advantage, but thank God I managed to capture this in the right time. And right now, I'm sorry I had to replace some of them, and I now have a new team. And as I sit here today, I think I wanted to see the Migori County youth empowered. Now, what I would want my people to still understand from me, that I'm still the same Pamela, whom they had a lot of hope in. And thank God that faith in me and the hope of serving them has not died out with my sickness. In fact, it is stronger. And I feel this time has even given me a better time to reorganize my thoughts and how I want to deliver the services to Migori County. I know I've done some, but I'm yet to do more. So when I talk about the youth, the woman, the person with disability of Migori County empowered, I don't mean giving them money and handouts, which some people think when you talk to them, what can you do? They say, I don't have money. I want to give the Migori County youth ideas. Some of them I've already given. In fact, thanks to KTN, some of the things that I've been able to achieve on the ground, you have documented them. Issues to do with reforestating Migori County, issues to do with greenhouses, issues to do with, some horticultural farming, something that can make my people earn a living and provide for food security issues. And empowerment, to me, means information, right information, adequate information, timely information to help my people make the right decisions as we move on. Empowerment to mean giving my people skills that they can use within our locality and environment. This is what I'm all about, and this is why I'm lined up, even for now, series of trainings for young people, making sure my vulnerables go to school, making sure there are workshops and things like that, and then giving them equipment to do that which they have been trained to do. For example, those who have graduated from the university with horticultural background, agribusiness, I need them so much to help me in these greenhouses. They have been given to women groups, but some of these women have no idea how to nurture these horticultural crops within a greenhouse. And I believe if we go in that direction, I am hoping to achieve a Migori County, even within these 3 years remaining, youths and women and persons with disability who can create their own income. I am keen to see something I'm calling sheltered workshop for persons with disability in Migori County. Some of these people, their lower limbs or some part of their body may not work well. But whatever part of their body, especially their hands, if they are able to work with their mind, I've seen these people make some of the most beautiful things. So I want to provide a structure where these people can be assembled, others can cook and bake things, others can do woodwork, others can do embroidery, others can make tailoring things that we can make within our capacity. I want to see this done before the next election. I want to see more ICT centers. I have already done one at Awendo. Having been started by my predecessor, I brought it to completion and I've already equipped. As I sit here today, we have trained over 150 youths on computer packages and things like that. I want to see Migori County having clean water. I know my office may not be able to do boreholes here and then, but I'm doing tanks so people can harvest. The rainwater is still clean enough. Even my home is empowered water-wise by harvesting water. So what I've been doing is to provide tanks, big tanks to schools, institutions, and I want to do this until I'm able to reach families. I would like to see a Migori County where everybody wakes up in the morning ready to do something to bring a 5 shillings that was not there yesterday. This is my overall vision. I want to see a healthy Migori County. So I'm keen, whenever I meet these women, we talk much about healthy feeding. It doesn't have to be meat or fish all the time. Vegetables, well made, are very healthy. And we must produce these vegetables, we must process them. I've introduced the processing of probiotic yogurt in Migori County to a women's group calling themselves Suna East Circle. And I want to see this product in the supermarket. We have done groundnuts made into peanut butter. For the first time, we have this one labeled and branded by Nyakodero Women's Group in Rongo in supermarkets. Now, I want to see them do oil, the cooking oil from the same groundnut. These are the kind of projects. I want to process fruits. We produce a lot of fruits, and that's why I came up with the pawpaw farming, avocado, and things like that. We have about 150 farmers with farms of avocado. And right now, as I sit here, I am aware I've ordered for some simple processing material, equipment that can do juices. Value addition is one of my flagship objectives, and this is what I want to do. I have seen along the lake, there are young people who are doing fish. I've empowered them, and I will continue. So whichever area, what I need people to understand from my office is whatever people are doing in their locality, that is what I would want to encourage so that they can do it better and empower it to do it better. I am yet to see all these miracles happen. The first one that is happening is my healing, and I'm taking it positively. I know it is painful to have your pace slowed down, and most of the time, the roads in our county are terrible. When you move on these roads, you feel bad. I have to be sick again. It is like I'm broken again. But I'm struggling with it, and I would want to encourage even my officers, the team that I'm working with, where I'm not able to reach, so long as the materials are there, I would like them to go and do it on my behalf and let them do a good job. Leadership is all about, or management is about working with others and through others to achieve objectives. So it may not really necessarily to be me physically present, but I would empower my team where I'm not able to reach the girls and everybody else that I'm supposed to minister to. I would want these officers to be faithful enough to deliver what it is that I cannot deliver. But I will try to the best of my knowledge. So I have learned to be patient with myself. It takes patience to make you know, okay, people are going, say, to Kitui and I'm not able to go. It is still okay. Let me support them from afar, and it is still okay. Because in politics, it is like Kenyans are used to this idea of you all the time you must be seen talking something somewhere, and this is the perception that we have. So it frustrates not to be able to do that. But then I know what I'm working on and what I'm about to roll out is going to cover up for all that, because again, like these resources, I have made sure whatever resources that is supposed to go to the people of Migori County are intact, and they will all be rolled out.
Dr. my director tells me we need to wrap up, but then let's talk about your fears, if any, because the people that I've talked to, especially after surviving such a tragic accident, develop fears of even using, vehicles. Yet these are things that we need to use, or rather we use on a daily, routine. Did you develop such kind of a fear?
Not really. When they got me out of this wreck, they put me in somebody's car. Thank God Joseph was there for me and Lawrence were there for me. These guys put me in their small cars. They took me to this hospital, a clinic in Rongo. Then Joseph came with this Prado. They tried to put me in this Prado, and it was a terrible pain. And I told them, Joseph, I can't reach that Kisumu where you're taking me like this. But then when we moved a little, he encouraged me, said, Familia too. Then he drove a little. Then we met some ambulance. I think it belonged to Rongo University. And they transferred me to this ambulance. And now at least I felt better. I was aware that it was still a vehicle. They took me to Kisumu after the first aid that I received from Aga Khan. Thanks again to their staff. They received me well, and all the doctors were there to see to it that I was safe. They flew me in this small chopper that, you know, the turbulence. I was aware. I told you I never lost any conscience throughout this period. And of course, there would be that temptation of what if it falls again? But I said, okay, somehow we have to move, and I have to move. So I know it is not very pleasant, especially the bit that I don't like when I have these drivers who sometimes you see somebody is playing on the road. You know, it still shocks, and it reminds you of the episode. But to some extent, I don't think I fear using these gadgets because I have to travel, I have to move. The only thing that I would want to request the entire Kenyan public, especially our young people who use the borders, I find ourselves very reckless on the road. We don't care about the road signs. We don't care about the other moving objects. We cross the road without even looking left and right. And sometimes these people insist on just going in the middle of the road without regards that they are vehicles. How I wish that we had enough money as a government to create a different lane for this border team and even the bicycles and people who walk on foot so that we have a more kind of organized system of movement. How I pray that our drivers would know that the vehicles are very good, they help us, but they can also be tragic. Just like we know we have lost quite a number of people, including those very drivers. So my call is, if you are on the road driving, please give yourself to that job. Just concentrate and be on the road. Forget all the other calls. I would rather, if you have to call, put the vehicle aside and stop and call, finish, and go your way. People who are walking on the road, again, carelessness of even people who are walking on the road, like in Nairobi, most of the time when we are walking on the road, people do not care. It's like, you know, in my mother tongue, they say vehicles have eyes. So, but you see, yes, vehicles, the drivers are supposed, the vehicles don't see. It is the drivers who see. But sometimes they are human beings. They are not able to see you. Or sometimes they would like to save you, but the gadget refuses to oblige. The brakes can fail, anything can happen. So I think we need to increase our level of consciousness through a little more rigorous civic education. I know NTSA has tried, or the Kenya Roads Authority have tried to do some work on this, the police and everybody. But I think we need to take a collective responsibility as a people to check on how we use our roads. If we are so much in a hurry, it is better we start yesterday. Like I think you told me I was supposed to be here by 8, but imagine by 5 I was up so that I come here on time.
Yes.
I don't have to wait until it is 15 minutes, then I'm struggling to come several kilometers away in such a rush. These are the issues.
Yes.
And I think as, yes, you want to say something?
Yes, we need to wrap up. But you've mentioned your husband somewhere in this conversation. As part of your closing remark, because I'm really told we are out of time, I'd like you to talk to him, talk to your 11 children, because I'm assuming, you know, they stood by you at that time, you know, that very difficult time. So
Wow.
The camera is yours. There, come 3.
This is a very special honor. Professor Mombasa Odhiambo, please receive thank you from my heart. Dennis, your quick move even to come and join me in Kisumu really, really encouraged me, and Professor was there for me. You are shuttling between Meru, where you are also just struggling to settle in your new station, and you would be in the morning in Nairobi, in the evening in Meru and back. That was very encouraging. My 11 children, Faith, Grace, Hope, Murray, Tony, Emmanuel, Even the little Kawai, you know, when Kawai came to the hospital, his greatest concern was, where are your legs? I think he must have got word that my legs were cut. So the concern, joy was always there to smile, and Ebenezer, I'm telling you, it was just good. My family and all the relatives, friends, church, everyone, fellow leaders, you were there for me, you really supported me, and I promise I will not let you down. To the people of Migori County, your services are on the road, and we will do much more than you can imagine and even ever think, because I'm feeling more renewed, more rejuvenated. When you see me slowing down, don't think I'm out of the scene. I'm right there, but just allow me to heal gradually until I regain myself fully. Indeed. Otherwise, thank you so much. God bless all of you.
Indeed, God bless you too. Thank you, Dr. so much for joining us. Dr. Pamela Odhiambo, the Migori woman representative. Let me sample just a little of your feedback. Allow me, Matheka, please. Jerry Odhiambo says, tuned in from County 044, watching my leader. She's more than a leader. I will visit her soon in her local office. May God protect her always. Blessed Malilo says, I'm being blessed as I listen to Migori woman rep. Oh, God, you're merciful. For real, Pamela, you're a blessing in the society. Migori County is blessed to have such a great leader, especially that she's saved. Forgiveness is a key word. I thank God for her. Last one, and I think I lost it. Okay, let me just read this one from Kapis Ongalo. He says, from Nakuru, God is great, and I encourage her to keep on serving the true God. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you, Daktari, for joining us. 11 a.m., Ben Kitili is here with Inside Politics, and I'm back at 1 p.m. with Weekend Edge One. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you.